Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is Mr. Pedro.
Hi everybody, I'm Pedro Ruiz, Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printing projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right, this is where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects for you. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is episode 192, entitled
Mounts, Marshmallows, and Dinos.
That wasn't planned. You did that well. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's go ahead and run through the shows. For the awesome people, audience, you guys that are watching, you got a special coupon code for you. Today's coupon code is CRICKIT.
That's right, it'll get you 10% off your Adafruit order. Excludes every...
You can use this coupon code on everything in the shop except for gift certificates and software.
There you go.
Yeah, it's really good. That means if you order a printer, 10% off that printer. We also got some great freebie deals. If you go to adafruit.com/free, you can see all the free deals that we have going on. For orders in the US that are $199 and higher, you get free shipping. That means if you order a 3D printer, you get 10% off and free shipping.
That's right.
That's pretty cool. So go to Adafruit. So go to adafruit.com/free to see all the free deals. Okay, we also have same-day delivery for the folks in New York City. So if you are in New York City and you need your thing right away, we have same-day delivery as an option. Yeah. Huge shout out to the CircuitPython meeting that happens every Monday at 2 p.m. This is open to the public, so folks can come and see what the core developers are working on, and also other folks in the community that are working on things, not just CircuitPython, but projects in general. So if you're looking to share your projects or get some project help, check out our Discord server. There's a link right above the chat room up here. discord.gg/Adafruit. All right, Adafruit Daily. Adafruit Daily. Go to adafruitdaily.com if you want some newsletters. This is a daily newsletter of a lot of things we see in the community. So yeah, you can check out adafruitdaily.com. You got to opt into that. We don't automatically subscribe you to it. That's what most companies do. We don't do that. That's great.
Thank you all for subscribing to the 3D printing newsletter. For that, looks like we got a giant jump in subscribers. So
which is interesting. We don't really promote it, but yeah, there's a 3D printing specific one where we like to share projects from the community. So you can check that out. We also have a product focus one. This is separate from this. This happens once a week. This is called the new newsletter, and you can go to adafruit.com/newsletter for that one. All right, we're going to jump into this week's project. So if you head on over to the Adafruit Learning System, you can see the latest project that we published today. It is a simple 3D printed mount for the CRICKIT board. CRICKIT is the new robotics platform from Adafruit, and it's geared towards beginners and advanced makers who just want to get things moving. So we thought we would come up with a little 3D printed mount for attaching to various things. So here's the mount, and here's the whole board assembly. And it's just a simple little mounting thing. We did some improvements. We showed this off last week, but let's talk about some of the improvements that we made. So if we look on the bottom, we have these little slots. These are M3 hole sized slots, and this allows you to mount this little bumper to anything, maybe cardboard, maybe wood, maybe some paper or something. So we got these 4 mounting slots that you can mount this to, and again, they're for M3 screws. So this is up on our page, so you can download it and 3D print it. Some other things we did was we added some nice slits here. So if you have some cables, we wanted to make sure to accommodate for those cables. So here's the barrel jack. We got a nice slit there. We have a nice opening here for the capacitive touch pin. So if you have alligator clips, this little slit here allows you to add your alligator clips. And we have, of course, another slit here for the USB for programming over Seesaw. So what's another thing we did? If you look in the center here, you see we have a nice opening. I want to do something special with this here. I wanted to make it so that I could add different little bits to this, little add-ons. I wanted to be able to snap fit them in. So if you look at here at an angle, you can see there's little indentations here. These indentations are for snap fit features. So let's take a look at this one. This is the same case, the same mounting thing, and you can see the indentations here. So what you can do is you can design little add-ons. Instead of having to integrate this all into one piece, you can make different adapter pieces for this one mount. So this is a little add-on for tripod screws. So this is one of the quarter 20 tripod screw inserts that are actually threaded. The thread is modeled inside this little opening here. So you can add this to all sorts of standard tripods. And the way this snap fits is you line up these nubs. So these are the little nubs. There's one here, and there's one on the opposite side. They're curved. They go along with the curvature of this. And what you do is you just line up this nub here. Is my mic still on?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. And then you can snap this in here like that. So now you have this really secured fitting here. You cannot push this through because the lip kind of mates with this protruding cylindrical feature here. And so then how do you take this out, right? You just apply pressure on these two nubs here, and then you can pop it out. So really nice way to kind of make add-ons to your 3D printed projects, I think. So again, you line it up, you snap it in, and boom, you're good to go. So cool. This is really neat. Yeah, so you got the tripod screw. Some other things we did is we wanted to make some battery holders. Yeah, you can grab that. I was playing around with the concept of making a battery connector. So instead of just adding circular stuff, maybe have something that's a little bigger. So I have this kind of battery holder that just is secured with screws. So they line up perfectly with these slots here. As you can see, there's a slot there. You can add a washer here. The only thing is that you do have to take the board out in order to install it. So you might want to install it before you put the board in. So that's the only kind of caveat there. But it is designed to kind of fit here or this way as well. So it is symmetrical. So you can just line up those slots there. However, you definitely want to use some stronger material, not PLA, because what happens is the way this works is, let's see if this breaks or not. It might. So this is it already broke right there. So you definitely want to use some better material there. This is a Ford AA battery pack. It has this nice barrel jack, which fits perfectly into the DC barrel jack of the CRICKIT. There's also a little slide, an on and off switch there, so you can turn that on. Did I really break that? Guys, this is one heck of a show. Everything is breaking. My mount broke, my battery broke. This is excellent. So the deal here is that it snaps like this. You gotta orient it right. And it's supposed to click in like that. And there are these little nubs here that kind of hold it in place. There's a little bit of flex here, as you see. You can flex this out to take it out. But again, you definitely don't want to use PLA because this happens right there. This breaks right off. And you even put a high infill there. It still broke. I need to add more fillets or something. So this is one option. Maybe don't do this. Maybe do something where maybe you can use the slots to kind of create, you could use zip ties and kind of tie this in like that. So whatever way you want to do it, you can kind of play with different options. Man, that is so funny that it broke like that. So, hey, we break things so that you don't have to, right? Yeah. Another cool thing I did was I added threaded inserts in here. So if you look at this one, these are just kind of your standard standoffs. So there are 8 standoffs that elevate the board. It gives you proper clearance for things like, I don't know, screws and some of the little solder joints over here, the connectors and such. So that's why the standoffs are a little bit tall. They're about 4 millimeters tall. And the cool thing is, normally what I do is I just screw directly into these standoffs. But what a lot of people do is they like to add threaded inserts and heat press them in to the standoff. So you have this really nice threaded metal, brass, mostly commonly brass, inside of these standoffs. So that's actually what's inside here. I don't have my screwdriver with me, so but I can show you in the Learn Guide. So let's jump over to the Learn Guide and take a look at it. So these are some of the things that you'll need for this project. Obviously, the CRICKIT board. Now, you'll notice that the CRICKIT board is out of stock, but our friends over at DigiKey has about 300 of them in stock. Gee, I wonder where they all went to. They probably went to DigiKey, but no problems because our friends from DigiKey, they helped us out there. So let's go to DigiKey. If you want to get the CRICKIT, you can get it from DigiKey. They got some really good shipping options, so check them out. They ship worldwide, I believe. Circuit Playground Express was in stock. Now it's out of stock. I thought it was in stock.
Pretty quick.
That was pretty quick. We got a little issue here with their standoffs. It says that they're in stock for $0, but that's not true. They're actually, we're working on that, so help us out there. You know.
Please let us know if you're able to check out with $0.
Yeah, yeah. Don't forget to use the 10% discount code for $0. We also got the battery pack. That one is in stock, hopefully. Doesn't come with the batteries, but it is a nice little battery holder. It comes with it's better than this. Trust me, it's better than this one. You can see the wiring is a little bit different as well. That's probably why. So there's some parts. Now, there's some other parts, of course, that you want to do. Additional hardware, right? So some screws and things. So some of the screws that I recommend is the M3 size screws that are 6 millimeters long. You can choose the pan head, the Phillips. I personally like to use the hex drill bit ones because they just work so much better than Phillips. But I have them here, and I like to get them from Albany County Fasteners. There's other places on the internet, like Amazon. You can get screws from there as well. But I really like these guys. Also, I like to use the M3 hex nuts. These are called jam nuts. They're a little bit thinner than your sort of regular hex nut, so it's a little bit thinner. It's about 1.5 millimeters thick, so you can fit them into little. You can fit them in tighter spaces. Also, the tripod screw. We actually carry the tripod screw in the shop because we use this on so many different projects. It is a 3/8 to 1/4 20 screw adapter, so it fits into. You can heat press it into parts, or you can design the thread into it, which is what we did for our little mount here, or mount add-on. And another thing you want to get is probably these M3 threaded inserts. I got these from Amazon for about $6. You can get 100 pieces of them, which hopefully will last me a while. They look like that. How tall are they? They're about, I guess this is 3 millimeters tall, so they fit pretty well inside our 4 millimeter tall standoff, so you can get those. They come in a lot of different flavors and stuff, but this is the one that I'm using. Yeah. So let's jump back over to the guide and walk over through the 3D printing portion of this. So in this page, I talk about the add-ons and how they're designed to snap fit. And then I also have a little part with all our 3D printing projects. We like to say, if you don't have a 3D printer, that's cool. We have 3D printing services like 3D Hubs and Make XYZ. Or you can go to your local makerspace or library to get access to a 3D printer. You 3D print it yourself, or have somebody 3D print it for you. So you don't have to invest thousands of dollars into your 3D printer if you don't want to. So that's really nice. It's always an option. Another thing is the tripod add-on. I talk about it here. I have linked as well, so you see how that works. There's the battery pack. This works up until it breaks, so it might be a little iffy on that. Definitely recommend using some nylon or some ABS or some CPE or any of those stronger materials. Not PLA, it didn't seem to work so well here. And here are the threaded inserts. If you click on this image, let's go to, can you click on the image? Will it edit it? You can see the original size here. You can see how that threaded insert is fitted in there. Is that right? That's right. So I used the tip of my soldering iron to hold the brass insert, and then I just slowly inserted it into the standoff there, and then it cools down, and then you have this permanently secured brass insert. So you got perfect insert, perfect thing.
Yeah, I forget who we saw on, I think either Instagram or somewhere, that they made a cool little drill press type rig.
I believe it was Mac Inspires on Instagram.
Yes.
He made like a jig to kind of heat press these brass inserts, which is cool. It had like a little jig for his soldering iron, and it would go perfectly in there. And I see why that's important, because when I was doing this, I actually inserted at an angle on accident, and I was like, oh no! So I had to kind of work really fast to kind of make it go down. So this is really the first project I've ever used threaded inserts. Mainly I do really, really small projects using like the Qriket or the Gemma. So normally like every millimeter counts. So if I can save a millimeter, I'll do that. Is there a problem with our audio?
I'll keep going. I think it's like when you turn to
my head?
your head. Yeah, so just make sure that your mouth is right over the mic.
Turn my body. Oh man, yeah, audio problems is tough. All right, so that is the threaded insert bit here. Let's go hit the back button. All right, cool. So remember, you can click on these images and make them really big. They're like 5K. Okay, so then where the STLs are for 3D printing, I have them up on Thingiverse, PinShape, and Umagine. Let's talk about the slice settings. So these slice settings here are what we use for our Ultimakers using Cura 3.4, I want to say. And one of the notes here I want to say is that Qriket has a really nice layer view where you can preview your tool paths and see what they're going to look like before you actually print it, which is really helpful to see if your tool paths are going to work out or not. In this case, we're taking a look at the standoffs, and you can see how it's built up out of perimeters. There's no infill really. The perimeters are the infill, so it's kind of 100% infill, sort of, kind of. The way you get this, at least for my 3D printer, using a 0.4 nozzle and a 0.2 layer height, the thing that makes this, to make these lines really nice is the line width. So the line width is actually set to 0.38. I think by default it's like 0.35, so I bumped it up to 0.38 just to make it a little bit thinner, or thicker. And then if you're using something like Simplified 3D, they call it extrusion width, which is the width of the extrusion, or in this case for Qriket, it's the line width. So there will be different, so just kind of fudge that number until you get this nice tool path for your standoffs, because I think that's really where, if it's not set up right, it's going to break, because when you're screwing, you're applying a lot of force on those standoffs. Okay, so the solid files, the design source, you can download it as a Fusion 360 file, or you can download it as a step file or STL. If you click on this link here, you'll get brought to the Fusion 360 page. Up here at the top, there's a download button. You can download it in all sorts of different formats. Step is a really good format. It works for a lot of different solid modeling programs, so you can use the step file, or any number of these other ones as well. So you can check those out. Also want to highlight that all of our parts that we make are on our GitHub page. So you can go to this link here, Adafruit CAD Parts GitHub, takes you to this link. Over the weekend, I spent some time to kind of reorganize some of our parts. So what you'll notice is that our parts are now into their own individual directories. And hopefully the naming convention makes sense. These numbers here are actually PIDs, product IDs that correlate with the Adafruit website. So these are the PIDs. So if we look for 3333, that's the Circuit Playground Express. If you click on that, you'll see that we have different files. We have an STL, a step file, and a F3D, which is the Fusion file that contains the original sketches, the parametric timeline, the decals, animations, simulations, all that good stuff. Oh yeah, I'm talking wrong. Sorry.
Act like a manatee.
Is that what a manatee can do next? Okay. So I made a blog post kind of promoting this page and asking if folks want other file formats, and people were really wanting the step file. So that's why I spent some time and made a step file for every one of our parts. So if you're looking for a screen, a display, arcade buttons, power boost, development boards, I have quite a few of them, and I'm adding to them. So if you want to help contribute, you can definitely do that. You can, how do you contribute with GitHub? I'm not sure, but you can. Look, there's one contributor. Maybe it's me. Yeah, it's me. So you can contribute somehow. I know there's a way to do it. I'm new to GitHub. Bear with me. So anyway, those are the files. They're up there, and that's pretty much the bit of this. So there you go. There's the Qriket Mount. Let us know if you have any issues with it. If you have any add-ons, I'd love to see some new add-ons for it. If you'd like to see a tutorial or something on how to create an add-on, let me know. I should probably put one together. That would probably be really nice.
Mm-hmm. So we do have a video coming out for this. I think we'll be releasing it probably tonight, right?
No. Oh. No, definitely not. We're working on a video for the Qriket. It's what the Qriket is, what it's for, what it does, that sort of stuff. And this is just kind of shoehorned in there. Like, yeah, you can 3D print this mount as well. Because the Qriket's kind of a big deal. So check that out. You can download it. It's free. You can also modify it or create your own. One last thing I want to do is show you guys, for people that laser cut or use a vinyl cutter, something like that, I have a special file for you guys. It is, wait for it, it is a DXF file and an SVG file. These are uploaded to Thingiverse. I'll add them to our repository after the show, but for now, this is just vector outlines of the Qriket board. So you can see it has that perfect octagon shape with the mounting holes in the precise spots. Also mounting holes for the Circuit Playground. So this is the Circuit Playground edition of the CRICKIT board. So you can use this to create mounting pieces with your laser cutter. Maybe you want to cut it out of acrylic or cardboard or some other type of material, wood. This, I think, will be helpful for those folks that are using CNCs and, yeah, CNCs like a laser cutter. So yeah, so we have that file as well. So it's not just a 3D model, it's also a 2D vector file. So you can get that, again, by heading over to the Learn Guide and downloading it from either one of these 3 spots. That's where I have it right now. I will add it to the GitHub later today. That's about it. That's it for this week's project. Hope you guys like it and find it useful. Want to take some questions? Anybody had any questions?
Let's see. Getting big ups for doing the threaded inserts by heating them up. Everybody likes that technique.
Me too, yeah, cool.
And then, let's see. Just quick shout outs to everybody in the chat room.
Yes.
A lot of good ideas. Quick shout outs to John K, always in the house. Jim.
Hello. Hey,
Stuff
Jim.
Kirby, Carl, Andy, Callaway, Alinsky, Madable, Connor. This is in here.
Yanni.
So many people.
True Tech. All of you guys are great. Thank you so much for joining us. Pedro, you're like not in the frame because you're reading over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super cool. Check out all the files for that. Go ahead and jump into this week's, what are we prototyping?
Yeah, let's do it.
So a couple weeks or months ago, I don't remember, whenever we started the Nintendo Labo Papercraft projects, we wanted to make an update to the sweet little racing car model that they provide you. John Badir actually made a really cool model, 3D printed model for that. So,
oh yeah, look at that one. That's great.
So when he made this, I was like, oh man, this would make a really good Hanz, which is our Circuit Playground character. He's an IC chip. And he's perfect for having this, what are you doing? Oh,
There you go, connected.
Connected, yeah. So what it is just redrew all the files, since Nintendo did release a PDF of them, but they're completely unusable for cutting machines. You can just cut them out of paper, but we wanted to get that precision for getting the chipboard cut out. So I modified all the artwork to make that work. And it's a cute little representation of Hanz.
The 555 timer chip.
Yeah.
Really quick backstory on who Hanz is. Hanz is a character from our kid show. We have a kid show called Circuit Playground, which you can check out. Circuit Playground. This Hanz is in episode, I believe, 9. It's called I is for IC. So Hanz, little puppet, he talks about what an IC chip is and how they're different from regular kind of components like resistors and transistors. And Adabot, of course, is learning, as he's a curious little robot, learning about the IC chip. So if you have little young ones and you want to teach them about the kind of basics of electronics, definitely check out Circuit Playground. It's on a playlist, and we'll have it linked down below in the description. Also, if you want to purchase Hanz as a plushie, you totally can. We have a plushie for Hanz. There he is, looking all cute and stuff.
It's super cute.
Yeah. Look at him. He's like,
The legs are bendable. There are metal in there, so you can have those bent up to any shape.
That's right. So here's Hanz as a paper craft. So cute.
Yeah, so we'll go over some of the techniques that we did for building this out. I'll release this next week, but nice little detail on his little eyes, all that there. Little cutaways. Oh yeah, let's make this guy a little move around.
He likes to move backwards. He likes to moonwalk. There he goes. This is kind of fun because you can kind of play around with the different.
So some of the improvements that we made was actually, of course, adding the other 2 legs on there, so it's not going to flop over like the original Nintendo one does. That's good there. The other thing I did was modify the slot so it is easier to add the Joy-Cons on each side there.
This joke is great. I was going to buy a 555. But it's a timing issue.
So we'll release all the files for that next week. Super cool. Yay.
Yay. All right, so we got a quick little, sort of a mini Labra layer just to kind of show you the process. So Nintendo Labo released some artwork files for all of the different kits for the Nintendo Labo. Fortunately, they're not really production-ready files, and what I mean by that is that they're optimized for laser cutters or cutting machines like a vinyl cutter, like the Qriket vinyl,
Yeah,
or the Silhouette.
Yeah.
They really aren't optimized for that. It's more like a visual art thing. So Pedro had to do quite a bit of work to kind of trace them out and optimize them for cutting, for laser cutting.
Of course, I'm using Illustrator here, but you can use Inkscape or any other free vector editing program. So all I'm showing here is just how I'm cutting up all of the lines to make a nice straight cut for, you know, just vertical lines for that. How I'm adding extra points on there and just cutting the one in the middle to connect it to the rest of the circle here. Pretty much all I'm doing. Just tracing, cutting, and connecting all of the lines, and then adding all of the fold lines on there as well, and then splitting them up into each individual layer so we can easily bring this into the design space for the Qriket.
So you could also cut this on a laser cutter. We will be providing the SVG files and the DXF file shortly after.
Yeah, nice little addition, especially if, I think it was John Park who posted that one of his dogs ate one of his, so thanks to Nintendo for being able to at least provide the outlines to be able to trace for that.
Yeah, I think we were taking pictures of it at first.
Yeah, I was taking pictures of each
We were gonna trace
build
it
that
that
I was
way.
making.
Yeah, but it's nice to have it some sort of vector, even if it's kind of broken up and jumbled up. But hey, it works out really well. So shout out to Nintendo Labo for releasing those files. Yep, and John Badir again. We probably link this too in the description.
Yeah.
If you guys want to 3D print your own little kind of add-on here.
That's a little racer bot for your Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, cool. All right, so that's what Pedro's been prototyping. Still working on the rack and pinion. We'll talk about that next week. Yeah, John's dog ate his homework. He actually did. All right, so let's go over to Shop Talk. Do a couple things on Shop Talk. First thing I want to talk about is the TT motor. These TT motors are really nice. We're getting into a lot of robotics, so one of the things you really want is a TT motor. Where did my TT motor go? There it is. So all I wanted to show is I didn't know what screws to use for mounting the TT motor. Let me get a blank TT motor. So you'll see that the TT motor is in this little yellow box, and you can take it apart. There are two screws here. But there are two mounting holes here. And I really wanted to know, well, what's the best screw for mounting a TT motor? So I did a little testing, and I found that the 25mm M3 size screws work really well. These are those jam nuts that I was talking about. They're thinner hex nuts. They work really well. And I like these length screws because it gives you a little bit of excess for mounting to thicker materials. This is a little 3D printed box that I've been playing with, and it has the mounting holes precisely in place. This TT motor, I did model it in Fusion 360, and I also have it on our GitHub page, so you can check that out if you want to bring this into your design assembly and make some projects with it. But yeah, there's a lot of different TT motor mounting ways, mounting mechanisms, but this is just a really simple one that I came up with. And there's a lot of great stuff on Thingiverse and GrabCAD as well, but it's really nice to kind of make your own parts too as well, and kind of experiment with them. But that's what I have so far. The TT motors don't come with the screws, so you will have to get your own screws. We do offer some kits, so if you go over to the Adafruit website, this kit over here actually comes with the screws. Now, we don't tell you what the size of the screws are, and I'm not sure what they are, but I definitely recommend the 25mm screws for these TT motors with the pan head. Those work out really well.
Yeah, Dave Estella is saying that he's using the 1.25-inch M3 for these.
1.25-inch to millimeters. That's 31 millimeters. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's a good length as well. So I think you got the 30. Normally they're kind of rounded off for metric. So 25, 30, and I think 35 are what I saw in the various websites like Albany County Fasteners. But yeah, definitely want to have it a little bit longer than the body itself. The body is, I believe, 18 millimeters thick. But don't quote me on that. I believe we have a nice tech drawing here. So if you want to model it yourself or just use our model, we have a little tech drawing here that tells you all the dimensions of all the various spots. So that's really nice. It's actually 22 millimeters thick, is it? No, 18.6 millimeters thick. So anything bigger than that would work well.
Sweet.
Cool. So those are TT motors. Getting into those. We have them in stock, right? Yeah. Cool. So we got those in stock. Yay.
Then Kinger North is saying that U.S. measurements, he's using 440s by 1 inch. Works pretty good as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, 440s.
Or do have 1 inch 440s.
Perfect. Okay, so 1 inch 440s. If you are Imperial, works well. Yeah, excellent. Oh yeah, yeah. Hardware stores have odd mixes of units. Yep. They're called special screws at our Lowe's. They're special.
Oh, yeah.
It's like okay.
They're specially priced,
overpriced. Yeah. So get them online. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So correction from Dave. He said he's using 25 millimeter length.
Yeah, perfect. That's the ones I'm using. Excellent. And you get that little bit of excess. So if you're maybe you want to, you know, fasten it into two different, like a 2-ply material, two different materials,
yeah,
so you can mount it to those two things. So you do want it like minimum of 25 millimeters, what I recommend.
Yeah, he's saying that works great for paper, for cardboard.
Excellent. Yeah, there you go. Excellent. All right, so there's our little shop talk. We got some other stuff that we want to talk about. We'll save that for next week, I believe.
I believe we're jumping into this week's.
Yeah, we are jumping into this week's Community Makes. So this is where we make some things from the community, and we also show some things from the community. So this week we have, what is this?
This week's Time Lapse Tuesday is this really cool marshmallow roaster, rotisserie roaster for marshmallows and Frank's, hot dogs, whatever you're going to be cooking over the campfire. Nice nights in the summertime right here. Super cool little planetary gear that's attached to this handle. It's rotating this top part here. And you have these little screws that can adjust and hold on to whatever poker stick that you're using to actually hold your meat or marshmallows onto. Super cool design. It's about 9 pieces if you don't include all of the screws that are actually holding this together.
Are these print in place?
These are indeed print in place.
The
nice little screws that go in.
Sweet.
Planetary gears. Got 4 little gears on each one of these flywheels.
Excellent. So this is a design that we found on Thingiverse from Kasey Gillespie, or known as Caxor Pie on Thingiverse. Yeah. Shout out to you, sir, for sharing your awesome design. He designed it himself, and he has a little breakdown of all the parts and components. So really cool. He printed on his Prusa, and he used 50% infill, and all the different notes in here are great. He has a little bit of horizontal expansion in Cura that he talks about as a negative 0.15 value.
So I tried that. I actually had to go all the way down to negative 0.35 for this. I kept having what's it called? Fusion issues where it would just fuse to the other parts of this.
Right, that's the one issue with the making print-in-place gears.
Yeah.
You get that little bit of fusion, so it's finding the right balance of expansion and not too loose, because if you have too loose, guess what happens?
So this actually happens when you have a very long stick on there and you have some sort of weight on there and you're holding it like completely vertically or horizontally. It will, the gears will have a tendency to skip teeth and they will, you know, start getting out of place. So that's the only problem with that. But other than that, if you're holding it up like, you know, at a 45-degree angle, it's pretty good and it works pretty well. Yeah, Jim is saying that, yeah, it definitely needs a CRICKIT on there so you can mortarize this.
That's great, yeah.
It wasn't lazy enough. It's pretty cool, you know, having your kid being able to, you know,
to hand crank
it and roast his own marshmallows.
Yeah, so for those who might have missed it, here's our time lapse, and we like to put all of our settings. Now, it says 21 hours for total print time. I'm going to assume that's for like all of the things. For all of the different various pieces?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was quite a bit of pieces. Like I said, it's about 9 if you don't include all of the screws.
There's actually a fail here, if you notice. There's like some string there. One of the bolts came off, but that's fine. We just printed it again.
Yeah.
And
here's of course, all of these vibrant, funky PLA colors are available in the shop. You want to pick some of these up?
Yes, they are. All those are from Melt Ink 3D? Yes. Yeah, Melt Ink 3D is our supplier of filament. Makes some nice colors and some pretty decent filament for a good price. Look at that marshmallow. It just came right off. What did you do there? Like, what happened? You just let it roast too long for the shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
I was going to cut it out, but I thought it was funny enough to leave in the shot.
That's funny. No, totally. And like the fails too. Like, well, it kind of failed. Half failed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So definitely a cool print for summertime.
Yeah, very cool.
And
it's gone.
That's this week's Time Lapse Tuesday.
Yeah.
Another cool thing we want to turn your guys' attention to is this really cool Kickstarter by 3D Printing Professor.
Joe!
Super cool low poly dinos.
Look at this. This is amazing. So that's cool. Let's take a look at the Kickstarter page. So this is a really good example of how to do, if you're a designer and you're looking for how to get your designs out there, this is really cool. So Joe made a campaign for his latest project. This is like a whole sort of set of low polygon dinosaurs. He's trying to make like a Jurassic Park of low poly dinos. It's really cool. Check it out. He has already reached his goal. Awesome stuff. If you still want to back him, go ahead and do so. We definitely recommend doing so. So he's working on these. He's been live streaming, designing them.
Yeah.
Really cool. He's designing them in Blender, I believe, which is really cool, free open source software. And Joe has a 3D printing channel. He's one of the longest running 3D printing channels on YouTube.
Definitely an OG.
Yeah, he's an OG. He's doing this for a couple of years now. Very good content, does a lot of different projects, reviews, that sort of stuff. So, oh look, he's got an MP3 here. Very cool. So check it out. Give him a subscribe. Let him know we sent you. And just overall good stuff.
Yeah, he's actually to be showing up on the show and tell later tonight to show off some of his new dino creations.
Excellent.
But yeah, I forget. I think it was Flowistic who actually tweeted at to see if we wanted to print these out. And immediately I was like, oh man, we need to make these into dual extruded models for this. So I went into, unfortunately I had to use Maya. I couldn't use...
which is a polygon editor.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot of editor. It's like surface, polygons, and
NURBS. We'll take a look at just some of the techniques I use to separate these into two different colors next week. But yeah, it definitely adds more detail, especially since it's low polygon. It's really easy to select all of the faces and inverse that selection and delete that.
Very cool. Now, why'd you pick the pterodactyl?
That's the one that he sent me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like him. He looks really cool. He actually prints on his head flat, which is interesting.
Yeah, there's no support material
so we
required.
Yeah, no supports required, which is excellent. And optimized for no supports, which is what we just said. But really cool. I had another bit. What was it? I had a brain fart. It's just really cool looking. I don't know what else to say. Great color scheme.
He has a drink named after him.
Joe? Yeah?
Very cool. We'll take a look at that next week. And definitely tune in to Show and Tell.
Yeah.
I want to see some of the new dinos he's working on.
That's right. Speaking of which, so tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time is the Show and Tell. Come on and say hello. Show us what you can let us know what you're working on. You can show all this, anything you want, really. It's all fair game, not just electronics. Also, right after that, we'll do Ask an Engineer with Lamar and Phil. A full hour of open source news, hardware updates, that sort of stuff. So very cool. Well, all right. Well, we're still in the Community Make segment. And I got one of the last things I want to show is a make that came in this morning. This gentleman here posted, his name is cscottnet. He posted this make of Adabot Figure. So if you want to 3D print your own Adabot, of course, the main character, lovable robot from the Circuit Playground series, you can 3D print him. So very cool. Oh, look, you made this in 2014. I remember that. So very cool. He made this for his 3-year-old daughter, made it out of PLA on his Monoprice Delta. Mini Delta, this just kind of shows that you can make some pretty big assemblies when you piece things apart in smaller printers. So that's really cool to see. He's scaled. He doesn't look like he got scaled down. He's like full sized. Just kind of coming out of that printer. Rawr. Very cool.
Excellent.
It looks great. Very cool. So thank you for sharing that with us, cscott. All right.
Oh, one thing that we forgot about Shop Talk. You've been adding a lot of the vinyl characters onto our GitHub page.
That's
right.
We
have a new addition. Shout out to our IoT guy, Brent.
Yep, Brent is on the Adafruit IO team. Adafruit IO is the service that allows you to make Internet of Things projects. So it's a sort of a service that you can connect sensors and things and track, monitor, all sorts of cool stuff. So check out Adafruit IO.
The new addition to the GitHub repo for that is our lovable character, Nimbus.
Yeah, look at it.
Friendly cloud entity.
Yeah, Nimbus. Hey, Nimbus.
There's the website. Cool shirt for him.
Yep.
Send this out, and you can, of course, build your own. Grab all the vector files over on GitHub.
That's right. This is iron-on vinyl, from Sisser, high-temperature vinyl, so it'll run through many wash cycles. Works really well, and it's multi-layered, so you can layer different colors on top. Feels really nice. And the front here just shows the Adafruit IO logo, which is this nice IO and Adafruit sort of flower in the center there. So it works really well.
So cool. We'll be uploading those later today.
Yep. So if you want to make your own T-shirts, yeah, definitely. We got a MakeCode one today, by the way. I made this MakeCode one because I'm a huge fan of MakeCode. Microsoft MakeCode works with our Circuit Player on Express, Cricket as well. Pedro's wearing the Circuit Python shirt with Blinka.
Kind of see it.
Over there.
Glittery black.
It's so glitter black, so you're playing with different things.
Cool.
Nimbus also comes as an enamel pin. That's true. Yeah, he is an enamel pin. Maybe I'll pull it up.
I believe it's still in stock.
Yeah.
Pick one of those up.
Yep, it's in the new section.
And since we got a little bit of time, I don't know if you can see it in the back.
Nimbus, there it is.
We finally got our Ultimaker S5 in.
Yeah, it came in yesterday. There it is. There's a big box. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to live unbox it. Yeah, why not? It might go terribly wrong, like the battery thing, but hey, it's fine. We'll do it for you. So one of the cool things about this box is that...
Is it in focus? Oh, do you want to like angle the camera
Yeah, sure,
down?
let's do that.
Oh, camera is in the way of the camera.
What about that?
Probably gonna have to hand hold it if it's long enough.
Yeah.
All right, so I did watch the video on how to actually unbox this. Because it's so big, it has you remove these clamps on the bottom, and you have to like lift this out of the way. So let's see if I can do this live without messing this up. All right, let's see. First it says, move these. Oh, yep, that's pretty cool.
Okay, those are little plastic joiners that kind of keep the box together. They do not want you to cut the tape and kind of pull it out. I guess that could damage the printer or the box or something. So now he's going to pull it up.
All right, ready, guys?
We're ready. Go.
Oh, hey,
Wow.
it looks like an Ultimaker 3, but scaled up. Cool.
No, it looks great, man. Look at this. Excellent.
Should we do this live tube print on the table? Let's see if it actually fits on our shelf.
Don't you need two people to... No? Think you got it?
Oh, yeah, let's...
All right, please don't drop it.
Let's see. Oh my god, this thing is freaking heavy. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to do this.
Sorry, it's shaky hand. It's just, I'm right above the AC vent.
I can't lift it. We're gonna have to do this after the show.
That ain't no...
But yeah, we'll do a nice little video or something. Definitely car parts, cosplay stuff. You know, something you see like on a movie.
Yeah, full assemblies. We'll see. Yeah, helmets. Maybe we'll make some helmets. Maybe a new sword. Who knows?
Ooh.
If you guys got any cool ideas, let us know.
Yeah, I think the top request is the Guardian. What is it? The chainsaw blade.
Oh, that'd be amazing. With CRICKIT inside.
Yes, of
Make
course.
the chainsaw. It's from the game Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm out of breath.
Are you? Me too. I'm kind of nervous. Like, oh gosh, what's gonna happen? He's gonna break it. Oh, he just got it and it broke it live.
Live 3D printing break.
Well, let's let's end the show. Don't forget, tonight we have the show and tell show. So you can come on and share your stuff with us at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you folks there. And then again, shortly after, we'll be Ask an Engineer, full hour of Lamar and Phil. Tomorrow, we have some more live streams with John Park. I think John Park's going to do some Adabox stuff. We didn't even get to talk about Adabox yet, but there are some very cool things. Adabox, of course, is our monthly subscription of amazing products and fun projects and things. So you can subscribe to that if you want. And check out John Park tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you guys so much for supporting Adafruit, the lovely company that keeps on trucking. So there they are, New York City. It's very hot.
Everybody that you're supporting.
Everyone's everybody there. All the fine folks at Chip and remote team folks as well. Thank you guys so much. Also, don't forget, if you want to help support your maker habit, you can do so. Order something from the shop. Use our 10% off coupon code CRICKIT. We also have another one tonight. A giant handheld pie grill. You know, we still need to we still need to make that one. He made it where it's a display and it works really well.
Oh, okay.
The next step would be to actually make the buttons work and yeah, that would be really fun. So maybe we'll do that. A giant handheld pie grill.
Yeah.
I think we might do that. Yes, and John K. is anxiously awaiting for his Adabox 08 to arrive. Hopefully it arrives today. If not today, hopefully tomorrow. But we shipped out so many of them, and it's really nice. Friday night is the Adabox unboxing. Not sure what time. Okay, so Friday night is when we'll do the unboxing. That's in 2 days from now.
Yeah, I think John's already shooting the video for that, so
excellent. Yeah,
look out for that.
Sweet.
Soon.
All right. Well, we got a little bit of time here, so maybe we'll just kind of catch our breaths and read up on the chats again. We thank you guys so much for joining us. Our silly banter here. Our audio issues, always with the audio issues. Yeah, I got to say, like, it's really hard to do a show with 2 people, because then you have to have two different mics, because we like to move around and stuff. So, yes, he did. Ben Heck did a giant Game Boy. Yeah, yep, he did a really big one. It was like taller than him. It was awesome. I think, speaking of Ben Heck, we wish him well. I think he wrote one of the last show notes this morning, so he is moving on to do video work, I believe. So
pinball stuff, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Checking out the Discord, Carter says to contribute, you contribute via the pull request.
Ah, that's right. This is GitHub. So if you want to contribute some 3D models, you can do so by doing a pull request. Don't know what that means. We have a guide that talks about this on the Adafruit Learning System, so you can search for GitHub. It was from Katney. I need to read it. I do. Thank you so much, John, for that comment. Webcasting is not easy, and pressures all the work we put in. Yeah, I don't know how Phil hasn't had a single problem, and like, I better not jinx it. I'm just gonna shut up now. Well, he's been doing the show for like 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on episode 193, so we've been doing it for about 2 years now, and we still have audio problems all the time. Maybe our mics are just finally fed up with us.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna close out the show.
Yeah.
See if this printer fits on the shelf over there. Don't forget to follow us on all of the social channels to see all the behind the scenes, everything we're working on. Of course, check out discord.gg/Adafruit. We'll be hanging out in there after the show. You can add us there. Amazing. And of course, all of the Adafruit accounts as well.
You said it. Don't forget, we do the show every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We thank you so much for joining us. And don't forget,
make a great day.
To make a great day.
See you next week, guys.
Adios. Where's the button? There it is. Adios.